to the City Show. Pat O Melia here. You there? Before I do the show, because you're there. Don't forget everything on the bottom of the screen. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and a live stream / Vimeo. We just made our first payment for our renewal on live stream. That's where we archive all our shows. And it's a free app, and there's a lot of other programming besides our stuff there. So download the app. Hopefully everybody had a good Father's Day. I did a lot of work. That's why I enjoy going back to work. The weekends are killing me, especially a guy with no knees. I need both of those replaced. I did an oil change on the van. I worked on lights on my 22-year-old Cadillac. I worked on a Jaguar that a friend of mine gave me. He probably doesn't like me. That's why he gave me a 1983 Jaguar. Worked on a garage. Worked on a gate post at my kid's summer rental. So I was quite busy for Father's Day. Summer is here. It started this week. And so now we all start planning what we're going to do with our summer vacations and summer activities. Locally, North Bergen, we'll talk about it. Hopefully I get to it in quick hits today. North Bergen opened their pool complex, probably the best one in the state. Jersey City, they have 3 pools. Persian Field is open. It's open year-round. Pavonia Pool, as I used to call it as a kid, Municipal, is soon to open along with Lafayette. There's a lot of options in Jersey City for what you want to do for the summer, but you want to get away from the big city. You want to go out and enjoy your vacation. But the crushing inflation is preventing many of us from doing that. Fuel prices are ridiculous. Your grocery bill went up like $200, $300 a month for what it was a year ago. Yeah, you don't know if you book a plane, you don't know if it's going to take off. So it is very difficult to figure out what you're going to do this year. Shelves are empty. Gas is ridiculous. You can't get baby formula. You don't know if a plane's going to fly. It's like we're a third world country. It's like how it used to be in Europe, where you were questioning if a plane was going to take off. They had enough people, that sort of thing. Your best bet, as always, is the Jersey Shore. I'm a Seaside Heights guy. I like it down there. But as you can start at Sandy Hook and work your way south. The tolls are expensive. We just raised that over the last 2 years about 40%. Fuel is crazy. But try to get away. Budget as best you can. And try to get away with the kids and the family a little bit this year. We're going to make it difficult as possible in Jersey City because we're going to talk a lot about it. We just raised your taxes about 30%. We're going to break the commercial, and then I'm going to scare you when I come back. You're watching The City Show.
Jersey City Medical Center is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County because your heart doesn't beat just for you. So get it checked. When your bones are healthy, it lifts us all. We're delivering joy daily in our Lord Abbott Maternity Wing and providing New Jersey's only NCI-designated comprehensive cancer center. We'll continue building our medical network and taking every precaution for your safety so that we can all be healthy together.
We're back. Pat O Melia here. You there? Yeah, Jaguar. Every time I mention a friend of mine gave me a Jaguar, everybody says, "You sure he's a friend?" He goes, "It's a 1983 Jaguar. It's got some issues, but it's something I'll work on for the next couple of years." I'm a car guy. I like playing with cars. I have too many cars of my own, but all my cars have a job. And actually, I'm one down. I need another 4-wheel drive for the winter. But all my cars, highway cars, city cars, the van doubles on whatever we need to do studio-wise. Or I got 2 daughters, so I move a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things I move. The budget. I've been warning for months and months and months with the Jersey City school budget and how that's affecting you. Well, it's about to hit you. The bills are coming out, the tax bills. And if you haven't, let me read the numbers here, right? Our budget right now for the city, and they're going to massage it and they'll argue about it, but it's going to come out to about $695 million for Jersey City. This is up $75 million from last year. Now, what happened last year? Made a full up use of COVID money, and he prevented a tax increase due to school taxes. He doesn't have that money this year. So our budget is up $75 million from last year. And all total with the school and the city and the county and all them little taxes add up to about a $1,600 increase this year on a home that's assessed at $450,000 or so, which is every home in Jersey City. Yeah, what home isn't worth $450,000 right now? That may change when you see tax hikes like this, and the interest rates just went up like 0.75%. So by the time it gets to a mortgage, that's probably about 3%. The Jersey City Board of Education budget right now is at $973 million. The breakdown right now of your tax bill is about 40% Jersey City Board of Education, about 35% Jersey City, 20% the County of Hudson. And you know all those little taxes, well, it's only a percent. It's a penny tax. They make up another 5%. That's a lot of those, the little taxes. Artist tax, open space tax, whatever tax we throw in there. It's only a little bit, so it's okay. Well, those things add up. So we're looking at municipally at $695,000. School-wise, $973 million. And listen, next year, unless we take action, and we're going to talk about that today, short and long term, we'll be looking at $1 billion budget for the school alone next year. And everybody's, well, you got to fully fund things. We got to look at that school budget, and we got to look at where we are today with the schools and where we were 10 years ago with the schools, and see what the F happened here. How did this go off the rails like this? And no, not all of it is a local problem. There's a lot of problems with the school budget that is statewide. What we can only control what we can control locally here. The Jersey City budget itself is $695 million. Listen, guys, we got to make some cuts, and they're going to knock this around, the council. And all the department heads have already been in there doing the talking. I'm sure some of them will be recalled again. Lee Iacocca, I don't know if you know him. Lee Iacocca was an automotive and financial genius, really. Like I said, I'm a car guy. Lee Iacocca is the guy that designed the Mustang. He's the one that pushed the Mustang. He is the guy that saved Chrysler. He came up with the minivan. He originally offered that to Ford when he was there, and Ford just nixed that off. He brought it to Chrysler, saved Chrysler. The K car, back in the 80s, Lee Iacocca. Lee Iacocca went to the United States government and got a bunch of money to save Chrysler and offered to pay it back over like 20 years. He managed to pull it off in like 5-6 years. Lee Iacocca was a business genius, automotive and financial. Saved Chrysler when Chrysler was ready to go, and he had all these ideas for cars. Lee Iacocca once said, when he was saving Chrysler, I can cut 10% out of any budget. We got Lee Iacocca, our budgets here, right off the bat. And that means the city budget, and I know Mayor Fulop, he really doesn't throw that money around is like some mayors do. Fulop is pretty financially stable. I have some questions over recent raises he gave, but for the most part, he holds the line on your municipal taxes. You don't see Mayor Fulop putting out 8-10% taxes. This isn't Hoboken. Tax increases on top of the home budget busting inflation is devastating for the people of Jersey City. Yeah, and the thing is, stop with all the talk about affordable. There is no friggin' affordable housing in Jersey City when everything costs so much. We just added 30% to your tax bill. There is no affordable. We did a piece, what was it, last week, where the average one-bedroom apartment in Jersey City is like $3,600. There is no affordable housing, and there can't be until Jersey City itself becomes affordable. And we ain't going in that direction for affordable here in Jersey City. So stop talking about the affordable housing. There is none. 30% tax increase, you're not going to have any. How do we make it affordable? Well, like I just said, we need to cut 10% across the board on the city budget and the school budget. Fulop has to get involved with the school budget. He's done a great job with the municipal budget here in Jersey City, and the guy's been the mayor 8+ years. There were no crazy tax increases here, maybe 1-2%, and that wasn't a yearly thing. I think over the 8 years, I think he raised the taxes twice. And that's not too bad. Fulop has to get a say and sway. He has to have some pull with the Board of Education. Like I said, we're going to be looking at a $1 billion budget next year for the Board of Education. That is going to stop any affordable. And affordable housing starts with a property owner. 80% of Jersey City are renters. You keep beating the property owner over the head with tax increases and fee increases, they're going to have to pass it along. Eventually, nobody's going to be able to rent in Jersey City. When your average rent now for a one-bedroom is $3,600, how much money do you have to make to be able to come up with $3,600 a month? That's not your average Jersey City person who's going to do that. You know, you might be some tech guy from New York City that can pull that off, but not your average Jersey City. There's going to be a mass exodus of Jersey City renters and property owners who are not going to be able to afford Jersey City. Whether you own the property or not, it's going to be so expensive. You're on a fixed income, you're living on those rents, that's going to be a problem. First thing we need to do with the school budget, again, 10% municipal and school budget. Then I'm going to leave this before we break for commercial. We take the teacher salaries off the table, and then we looked at every nickel that's being spent by the Board of Ed. Let's break for commercial. We'll be right back.
I've got cancer.
We've got the highest level of cancer care,
the latest clinical trials,
researchers working to find a cure,
and nurse navigators to guide you every step of the way.
At New Jersey's only NCI-designated Comprehensive Cancer Center, your safety has always been our top priority.
I've got cancer, but I also have peace of mind.
Jersey City Medical Center and Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey. Let's beat cancer together.
We're back. Pat O Melia here. We're talking about the horrible 30% increase on your property taxes. And, you know, we warned about this for the last year or so. And we knew Fulop wasn't going to be able to cover that $1,000 from last year with the school budget. So here we are. Like I said, we need to look at the school budget, every nickel. I'll take all the teacher salaries off the table. They're not negotiable. It's what teachers get, and that's what the teacher's getting. But everybody else who is not a teacher is on that table. Every expense is on that table. Has to be reviewed. I want to know what those people are doing. Are they there? I guarantee you, we start looking, we're going to find some people who aren't there often or at all. And there's probably a lot of bad contracts. You know, we got some people going to jail who were formerly with the Jersey City Board of Ed. They're not going to jail because they were good people. What else can the city do? We got to look at some short-term and long-term plans to cut your expenses and to generate revenue. One of the first things we should do in Jersey City is as much in-house work as possible. We have a huge payroll in Jersey City. We have a huge DPW, especially since we merged JCIA into the DPW. We got to start doing as much as we can in-house instead of going out for bid, RFP, for road repairs and park repairs and road paving. Yeah, we're the big city in Hudson County. We should be able to do our work, and we should do some shared services too. But we should be able to do our park works, our road works, you know, our legal fees. Yeah, that's the other thing. You know, we have a lot of legal beagles on salary in Jersey City, but every time something comes up, we got to go outside to somebody, some other law firm. Well, we're going to only give them $300 an hour. What the F are we paying these people for in City Hall? Those lawyers, what are we paying for? We have to look at that, and it would really behoove every municipality in Hudson County and the county of Hudson itself for shared services. Like I said, with the road projects, you know, our road paving alone in Jersey City, you know, we go out for bid, it's $12, $14 million. Just one of those bids, we could buy all that equipment. We could do that ourselves. The city of Jersey City at one time did these kind of things. We could do shared services with all the borders we touch in Jersey City. Make it easy. Hoboken, Union City, North Bergen, Bayonne, and the county of Hudson. Between those entities, we should be able to do some shared services that can cut the overhead of every one of those municipalities plus the county if we just do shared services. There is such a friggin' redundancy between all these municipalities that and you pay for it. like the school. I'm not blaming everything locally on the schools. We have a zillion school districts, or 580 school districts, or we got 564 municipalities. How can we have more school districts than municipalities? That has to be looked at because you're paying for this. This is not the 1960s anymore. This is real money, and it's your real money. These are the things Mayor Fulop has to stand up and say, we got to do this. We got to start doing work in-house. We got to make some budget cuts. And, again, like Iacocca, the 10%, I'm sure we can do 10%, and nobody loses a job on this. Shared services, that could only be a bonus for everyone, for all the municipalities and all the taxpayers in those municipalities. Police, very expensive as we start training them. It wouldn't hurt if we had auxiliary police, and this is something Mayor Fulop talked about before. Not every cop has to be the first-line cop. Like I was saying, Seaside Heights, I work with that community down there. They hire Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3, all sorts of different tier police. We could do that in Jersey City. We can have our own feeder system or minor league, whatever you want, that we can start training our own cops for the future, starting them. And we had auxiliary cops when I was a kid in Jersey City. We can have them again. And they can perform a lot of the services that we're using frontline cops for. You're going to Jersey City parking enforcement, pick up your mitts, there's a security guy there. I don't need that security guy there because we're paying big money for him. I can have my Tier 1, my Tier 2 or Tier 3 cop, auxiliary cop there. I can have those same cops in schools. So we could take over the damn school security with kids that we're training. Road work? Where at Jersey City, it's a cottage industry road work. Every damn street is closed. We can have those Tier 3 cops, those auxiliary cops, working that as we bring them along slowly. And as our police force ages and retires, we're bringing up the next generation. We're training them. Now, they could be auxiliary cops for 3 or 4 years as they learn the ins and outs, so we're not throwing them into the deep end of the pool when they become a cop. And we can save money that way. But you know what? It has to be done. It has to be managed. And that's what we get right with. It's easy to write checks with other people's money. And that's what a lot of municipal and county government has become. Start managing it. We need cops? Yeah, we're going to need cops. We can bring cops along. We can hire kids, 18, 19 years old, bring them along as auxiliary cops and go 2-3 years. And as a retirement, we move these kids up from that Tier 1 to Tier 3 to Tier 1 cop. All the while, we're saving money on security and road and so many things we use cops for. You can even have these kids as crossing guards. That's how we can protect the future of the PD. Training our own people long term. Non-owner occupied investment fee. What is that? Every block has non-owner occupied buildings. It's normally the problem on your block is a non-owner occupied building. If people are making money on Jersey City where they're buying these homes and they're renting out, they're buying 2-family, but they're really 3-family illegals, there should be a fee to that. If you're not living there, it's an investment property, there should be a fee every year. Driveway fee. Yes, a driveway fee. We build these homes all over Jersey City. Every freaking one of them has a driveway. We lose street parking. They get a reserved parking spot because I can't put a driveway in front of my house in the Heights, but somebody knocks down a house and builds a new one, they get a driveway. We get a driveway fee, $300 a year. Half of that fee goes towards creating long-term parking in Jersey City. And stop the BS with mass transit and bikes. That's not happening in Jersey City. We need to create parking. Simple as that. Bicycle and e-bike registrations. If you're you're an adult 18 years old and you're using a bike, it should be a registration. I'll even go as far, a little license plate on the bike, because they do cause accidents. And that brings me to the next thing. I don't know if Jersey City wants to get in the insurance business, but maybe those bikes and those e-bikes should have insurance, because you know what? They can cause accidents. And we use the registration fees to create bike lanes or bike infrastructure or whatever you want, whatever way you want to waste money. These are making money on Jersey City. These next people. The Holland Tunnel in Jersey City makes money on Jersey City. We don't make any money on it. We got to start making money on that. So I'm going to come back on break, from break, and I'm going to go over these 3 things, and then we'll get into quick hits. You're watching The City Show. I'll be right back.
Jersey City Medical Center has a passion for heart health. We're Hudson County's only full-service heart hospital, with innovative technologies and premier cardiovascular physicians, a partnership with Rutgers Health, the latest technology and medical advancements, and nationally renowned care for every heart in every community. Whoever your heart beats for, our hearts beat for you. Jersey City Medical Center.
Now, we're being careful here. The last couple of shows I ran over. Actually, I've been doing multiple segments, extra segment in each show because I get going. Entities that make money on Jersey City, and we're not getting a cut. We need to get a cut. We need to generate revenue. We need to cut revenue, cut your taxes, cut the budget, but we need to generate revenue so we're not digging in your pocket. A Holland Tunnel, all the pay part of that tunnel is in Jersey City. We get nada for that. We got to get some knot. We got to get some buckos for that. Maybe we get $1 a car. That comes through Jersey City. Now, we're talking about widening the bridges to get to the Holland Tunnel. Give us $1 on each. The PATH train. PATH train has 3 stops in Jersey City. What we got? Journal Square, Newport, and Exchange Place, right? I think that's the 3. We need to get money. Anybody entering those 3 stops, we should get a percentage of that fare. Go to the city of Jersey City. Those entities are in here. Mayor Fulop, when he came in, he took on the Port Authority. I don't know how much we're getting, but we should get a piece of each one of those fares. The New Jersey Turnpike, we don't get none. They got exits 14A, B, and C, Jersey City, exit 15E, Jersey City, and exit 15X, Jersey City. We don't get anything, but those exits go into Jersey City. We should get something there. We got to start maximizing revenue. And these last 3, Holland Tunnel, PATH trains, and the Turnpike, they're making money on us. The other thing we need to do, we got to review all Class 15D tax exemptions. There's about 700 of them in Jersey City. Those are religious, not-for-profits, who enjoy not paying property taxes. They should all be reviewed. This is something I spoke to the mayor about 4 years ago. They should be reviewed. We have religious organizations that have churches on Kennedy Boulevard and own homes on Ocean Avenue in Jersey City. And that's tax exempt on Ocean Avenue. The church is on Kennedy Boulevard. All that has to be reviewed. The first place, the balance of the budget shouldn't be your pocket. We've got to figure out how to reduce some expenses, shared services, and figure out how to generate some revenue. In those last 3 entities and those Class 15Ds, that's the way to do it. I'm sure there are other cost-cutting and revenue-generating ideas. There's smarter people than me out there. We need to explore them all. And again, not your pocket. Hopefully, that happens. All right, generous Mayor Steve Fulop, and quick hits here. Generous Mayor Steve Fulop raised the starting pay, the minimum pay of Jersey City municipal employees to $20. I don't have a problem paying a municipal employee $20, provided they earn that $20. They earn the raise, not a blanket increase for all these employees. I know it sounds good, it's nice and warm and fuzzy, but you're paying for that. And right now, with a 30% tax increase, probably should have held off on it. Again, no problem paying an employee for a good job, but not blanket paying everybody. Congratulations to Anthony Guerini, and he's now the HCDO chair. Hopefully he has a good long tenure there. And old friend of mine, Barbara McCann, yes, the sister of the former mayor, Barbara Stramato, you know her as now. She is now the vice president of the HCDO. She's the president of the Jersey City Democratic Organization. Congratulations to both, and a big congratulations for the outgoing HCDO chair, Amy DeGeese, who did a very good job. I guess she was there, 3 years? We had a lot of peace in 3 years. And that's hard to do in Hudson County, have peace for 3 years. I was talking earlier about the pool complex opening in North Bergen, and the Jersey City one is soon to follow outside of Persian Field. That's year-round in Union City. I'm not sure if Union City is open yet, but Brian Stack will get it open. There is probably no better pool complex in the state of New Jersey than the one that Mayor Sacco built down on 91st Street in North Bergen. It's the old APA had the land there. APA used to be a trucking company. Now APA actually went from trucking to New York Waterways. And hopefully John's showing you some pictures of it. A tremendous job by Nick Sacco and all his commissioners and everybody involved in North Bergen, building that complex, getting the land. I went down, I think he opened it about 10 years ago. And it looks like it just opened today, by the way. Like it's brand new. That's how well this is maintained. I went down there with the late Earl Morgan. And I was just talking to Earl on the phone. Back then, when you talk to Earl on the phone, it took about an hour just to say hello. I'm talking to Earl, so I'm going to go down and I'm going to film Nick Sacco's new pool complex. And at this point, Earl was arguing with Mayor Healy about the YMCA pool. All these pools we had that weren't open. They were inoperable. So Earl like, pick me up. I want to see this thing. Then I got to go all the way to the Jersey Journal building on Journal Square, pick up Earl Morgan, take him to North Bergen. We're there. And Earl was like beside himself. How can this little town, North Bergen, have a complex like this, and we can't open the friggin' pools in Jersey City, let alone build something like this? It's a tremendous project, and tremendous complex. And what's happening, Mayor Sacco is going to open that complex to non-residents. I think right now, for residents, on a daily, there's memberships available where you get a discount, of course. I think daily for residents and for the pool complex in North Bergen is $15, and I think for non-residents it's $30 for the day. There's 4 pools. There's a lap pool. There's a main pool. There's a kiddie pool. There's a splash pool down there. There's a concession stand. There's volleyball courts. There's basketball courts down there. There's locker rooms. There are changing rooms. It is incredible, the complex that Mayor Sacco has there. And kudos for him to opening it up to all the residents. You know, they can only accommodate so many a day. So if you're Jersey City, Hoboken, or something like that, call ahead, pay online. Probably is. I'll find out. I bet you can reserve online and go down there. You can really enjoy a day at the pool. And one of the other things that is going on, I got to give some kudos to Tom DeGeese and the County of Hudson. The Guerini Justice Center on Newark Avenue, across the street from the other 2 courthouses we have, of course, the Bergen Courthouse, and as we all refer to it as the new courthouse, which will soon be a park when the Guerini Justice Center is complete. They are making tremendous strides in building this. They are working at ants don't work faster than these guys who are building the Guerini Justice Center. And hopefully John's showing you some pictures now. I'm going to say within a year, the Guarini Justice Center here on Newark Avenue will be open. It's really going to be a game changer for that section of Jersey City. Hopefully, with the parking lot, maybe Jersey City residents can park there overnight. That might be a security issue, but it's amazing how fast these guys are working. For that matter, they're working so fast it probably will be open tomorrow at the rate these guys are going. So great job by Tom DeGeese. Really a good job by the contractor there and all the commissioners for approving this and all the work that went into it. And Frank Guerini donated some land. Great job by all. I'm out of time. You be good. You be safe. I'll talk to you during the week. Good night.